Welcome, friends of the Crawford, to the Crawford College of Art and Design's Subject to Change 2021 grad show. And I'm delighted here to be standing with one of the selected artists who will take part in the Emerge exhibition for the CorkAbout month in August. And this is Aleksandra Kowalczyk. And I've just been upstairs looking at her work and fascinated by the absolute precision in her geometric forms, which she was telling us she has related all to this mathematical concept. So welcome, Alex, and if you could just tell us a little bit about your work upstairs, that would be great. Thanks.
Hello, thank you. So my work is focused on geometry and pattern, and this sense of visual comfort that you find in those geometrical patterns. And I think that has something to do with my perfectionism and the way that I was always drawn into order and patterns. I'm focusing also on the fractal geometry. It's a mathematical theory that is arguing with the theory of chaos and brings order to things that we didn't consider mathematical, that we consider organic and without any specific order.
That's super. We were also chatting upstairs about how difficult it was for college students. So for the full semester of third year and for 4 months of fourth year, students were locked out as such of college and unable to access the machinery and the spaces. So for you, that had a huge impact because your work environment was also your home environment, which is a small room in shared space. So how was that for you over the course of third and fourth year, Alex?
You see that there was loads of good and bad things about it. Obviously, I think mixing your space where you sleep and relax with your workspace is never good for you, and you should probably keep them separate. But I definitely took loads of good things from this experience. For example, I found the material that I would never look at before, which is cards. Sounds very simple, but when we were locked in the houses, we didn't really have much choice. So I'm very actually glad that this happened, and I found a new technique, a new material, kind of put me out of my comfort zone and made me think different ways. So it was a struggle, but I'm happy that everything went the way it went.
That's interesting because I think you've mentioned that you would be naturally a perfectionist. So working with a material that you'd never worked before, however, this particular form of patterns that you're making in your work is very de-stressing for you. So you had both sides of it in this new practice with the cardboard.
Yes, I definitely find the process, at least the cardboard piece, very meditative, very relaxing, and it's definitely my own time where I just lock the door to my room and I do my thing, and definitely brings me loads of calmness. So, yeah.
And you also have worked with some glass as well. I could see you worked with glass upstairs. What kind of equipment and machinery do you need for that?
Yes, for both glass and metal, I definitely need access to college, because glass requires definitely kilns. That's the first thing. It requires fans. For when you work with powders such as plaster or silica. It also requires a lot of equipment that I could technically buy for my home, like glass cutters, but they are quite pricey, quite expensive. So yeah, and then metal, you definitely need a lot of space, a lot of cutters and things like that. So
for an emerging artist, is that quite a challenge to to be able to access that machinery and equipment and space? Is that something that emerging artists really struggle with, we'll say?
I think so. I think it might be a bit of a problem, but there are ways around. There are, for example, residencies in Crawford that I did apply for. So hopefully I will have access to glass and metal next year, even though I'm not a student anymore. Yeah, I think it's all about finding ways, because it will never be easy, you know.
No, and I think you possibly you've touched off it because you've had to use new materials. So you've definitely shown that you have to be creative in your thought processes and adaptable as an artist. And I think you've highlighted the point as well that this exciting new venture that the Friends have gone on of the Merge Award, which will be announced in August. The Friends of the Crawford, for the first time ever, are supporting that emerging artist by offering a 6-month studio space with Bench Space, our partners. So that's something that's really exciting, and it's great to be able to hear from yourself, Alex, about the struggles for somebody in accessing machinery and equipment and space. So I wanted to just say thank you very much for your time. We're delighted to have been able to meet with you and for you to be able to tell us yourself about your own experiences. And we look forward to seeing your work exhibited in the Emerge exhibition on 46 Grand Parade for the month of August as part of CorkAbout. Thank you very much, Alex, for your time today.
Thank you so much, and I'm very excited for the exhibition as well. Thank you.